For those who don't know me, my name is Mr. Bidor, and I wear a lot of different hats here at Monroe High School and in this building. But tonight I am super honored and privileged to wear the hat of advisor to the Monroe chapter of the National Honor Society. Obviously, this is a very special occasion to honor and celebrate our 91 new members of this chapter. Myself, that definitely myself and the entire Monroe School District want to thank you for joining us here this evening. But before we get started, if we could all please stand and join Senior NHS Officer Sophia Rose in singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in came through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
How about one more round of applause for Sophia? Thank you. That's amazing. As I mentioned earlier, it is with great plans of pride that I stand in front of you as we celebrate this group of elite young adults that will be welcomed and inducted into the Monroe chapter of NHS. I'd like to extend a massive congratulations to all the students being inducted. And I'd like to extend congratulations to all parents, guardians, family members, and friends that have helped these inductees embrace the core values of the National Honor Society. We share your pride in our NHS because these young people consistently demonstrate and maintain scholarship, leadership, service, and characters, values which are not only fundamental to the National Honor Society, but exemplify the characteristics that we value and admire here at Monroe. It goes without saying that all of our NHS students deserve all the praise and recognition that comes with the hard work and dedication to become a NHS member. Whether it's their academics, their community service, or just their dedication to their community, it all shows here tonight. For this group of students, this recognition is especially valuable, given the tremendous difficulties for which we have faced during the formative years of their years here at Monroe High School. As we stand here today at virtually the third year anniversary of the COVID shutdowns, it's essential to reflect on how hard it's been for our students, staff, and families through these last 3 years. Although we are in a much better position today than we were even, say, a year ago, we still have to recover all that we have lost during the pandemic. This pandemic loss was actually what inspired me to take on the role of NHS advisor here at Monroe High School. Back in November, I was participating in a parent forum hosted by Principal McGrath. At the meeting, Mr. McGrath discussed how many of our practices and traditions that we had in place prior to COVID to honor and recognize our academic scholars had yet to come back fully. It was clear to me in his words and the actions that he had already put in place that he really valued academic and recognition of its excellence here at Minnow Grove. It was clear to me in that moment, and because of his words, that I should dedicate some of my time here and help with NHS to help contribute in mentoring and recognizing our amazing academic community that we have here at Minnow Grove. That is definitely on full display here, as tonight we have nearly 150 NHS members and inductees. I simply just have to sit here and recognize these guys and all the amazing work. So speaking of Mr. McGrath, at this time, I'd like to bring Mr. McGrath up to the stage to give a few words. Mr. McGrath.
Thank you, Mr. Pittorf, and thank you for leading and advising this valuable organization. Pleased to be joined this evening by the entire admin team here at the high school, Mr. Kling, Ms. Hahn, and Mr. Schneider, in addition to Superintendent Olson and School Board Member Susan Manning. Thank you all for being here. Students, congratulations. Congratulations on striving to meet the high standards that National Honor Society sets. The 4 pillars of National Honor Society are well known. They are scholarship, service, leadership, and character. And your induction tonight is not only a celebration, but it's also a commitment to these pillars from here forward. Now, interestingly enough, if you go to the National Honor Society website and take a look, those 4 pillars are not just called the pillars of NHS. Importantly, they are called the everyday pillars of NHS. Every day. So tonight, I ask you, the class of 2023 inductees, to consider what is everyday service. And I'll be asking you to examine what is your personal commitment to everyday service. So according to the National Honor Society website, everyday service is seeking out and engaging in meaningful service. It calls for a service mindset, the desire to seek opportunities and help others, as well as acts of service. So as we think about what it says there at the website, we think about service hours, which we count, right, for National Honor Society. NHS values the concept of everyday service, seeing a need each day and seeking that and fulfilling it voluntarily. So several words and phrases really stick out as we think about that. Seeking out, engaging, service mindset, seeing a need and filling it. And I've reviewed NHS applications and service hours for years. And I've seen many, many very impressive logs and hours. They might be retreats to other countries, retreats to different parts of our country, different parts of our state, organizing and supporting a specific benefit, team outings, might be long-term volunteer records to a specific organization. And I don't mean to discount those efforts at all. Those are very important. They're very honorable. But I am asking you, in the context of being inducted tonight, to consider what everyday service means, as opposed to a single event or a finite series of planned events. And as you finish your junior year and move into senior year, more specifically, my question is, how will you demonstrate that commitment to everyday service as a Silver Eagle as you finish up your junior year and move into your senior year? To answer that question, let's take a look at what our mission here at the high school is. Our mission statement says that our mission is to be a safe, equitable, and inclusive learning environment for everyone. Pretty simple. But if that's our mission, then my question moves to say, how will you demonstrate your commitment to everyday service, and specifically service to that mission that we share together here at the high school? So if everyday service is more than that single event, more than that finite volunteer opportunity, then it's seeking out and it's engaging in opportunities as a student here on a daily basis. Thinking back to the mission statement, how will you make our school safer? Not just physically, but emotionally. How will you build an even healthier environment here? An environment that ensures all students feel respected, feel heard, feel included. What steps can you take to seek out and build positive relationships among your classmates, not just your current peers or friends, but extending that to our classmates? What about positive relationships between student and staff? What steps do you see that you can seek out to continue to build positive relationships between students and staff? So I'd like you to think about and reflect on your commitment to what daily actions you can take in our walls, in our classrooms, in our hallways, on our fields, on our performance stages, in our spectator seating, in all of those environments, as a member of National Honor Society, committed to everyday service. So there's some things that I think about, I think, wow, I'll never see that logged in on a National Honor Society service log. Things like, I spent 35 minutes explaining to my friends why it wasn't okay to use the R word. Every time the teacher put me in groups to work with my classmates, I spent 45 seconds making sure that everyone's voice was heard and everyone contributed in our group. I stopped and spent 2.5 minutes checking in on a freshman who I saw in the hallway because they looked like they were having a rough start to the school year. I spent Friday night leading spirited cheers at an athletic event and made sure the entire community would be proud of our school and of our student body. I spent 75 seconds intervening when I saw the same 2 kids budging in lunch line each day. I took a social risk and expanded my peer group to become more inclusive. That's everyday service. Setting time aside for a specific project, a specific event, a specific finite volunteer opportunity, as I said, that's very honorable, it's very important, and I'm not discouraging you at all from continuing to seek out those opportunities either. But what I am asking you to do is to rise to the challenge of serving others each day with that everyday service mindset, and rise to the challenge of serving our collective mission here at the high school this spring and as seniors next year. Class of 2023 inductees, congratulations. Look forward to this spring and next year. Thank you.
I want to keep things moving along, but thank you once again, Principal McGrath, and thank you for your leadership and commitment to academic and scholarly excellence here at Monroe Grove. So at this time, I want to bring our NHS Senior Class President Olivia Liam to the stage to talk more about National Honor Society and the impacts it has on our school/community. Olivia is a senior and will leave Monroe Grove High School with a very impressive resume to show for it. In addition to being in the top of the class academically, Olivia is part of Student Council, DECA, show choir, musical, jazz band, and maybe most importantly, Model UN, where she and her 2 teammates went on a historic run this year, including winning several individual best delegates, best position papers, and even a Model UN scholarship worth $500. Please welcome Olivia to the stage.
Flowers, helicopters, and poodles. Whoever the festival hired to make balloon animals for their Halloween event did it all. As the last child in line, my brother Jake was excited to watch this magician make a balloon dinosaur, but upon seeing Jake in his wheelchair, she decided to close up shop. Seeing Jake's face deflate after the magician burst his bubble inflated my desire to bring joy to people like him. Instead of going to the Halloween festival, my family and I decided to start a new fall tradition, distributing balloons to every resident at Central Wisconsin Center, a medical facility for people with severe developmental disabilities. As we passed out the candy, tied balloons onto residents' beds, and asked a few about their wishes for the Great Pumpkin, the smiles of residents seldom visited sealed the family tradition and sparked my love of service. I'm lucky to have grown up surrounded by a family that has consistently exhibited the 4 pillars of NHS: scholarship, service, leadership, and character. A family who has motivated me to exhibit the same. I've watched my fearless mother combine service and scholarship as her intellectual curiosity and dedication to her family culminated into tireless studies of the law to medically protect my brother. I've watched my father combine leadership and character as he runs his own successful business to support our family while always remaining humble, always remaining kind, and never falling short of dad jokes. Growing up, I remember how whenever I got into a fight with my brother, hi Nick, or said something too direct, my parents would ask me, do you think it's more important to be right or to be kind? And I thought myself trapped with this question, asking myself how to choose between honesty and kindness. But the more I watched my parents, I realized that there was no choice, that the two could coexist. Honesty and kindness, scholarship and service, character and leadership. So though there are technically only 4 pillars of NHS, one could argue the 5th and most important is the and that connects each. One of the reasons I have enjoyed NHS so much throughout high school is because that and aligns with my hopes for the future. My dreams for myself, whether it be in terms of service or a career path, I've yet to determine. It seems my aspirations for both encompass a wide range of interests. Whether I was exploring my interest in English through my summer spent at the library, either helping with the STEM program or the summer reading program, or expanding my hobby of baking to what's become one of my favorite Christmas traditions, baking hundreds of cookies myself and passing them out to as many people as possible. Much of my academic and personal interests have depended on what the products of those interests can supply others. So whether that has meant Christmas cookies or a new book in the past, I'm excited to see how the spirit of service that NHS has helped to cultivate will intersect with my academic ventures after high school. As members of NHS, you have been entrusted with the responsibility of exhibiting a dedication to service while maintaining academic excellence. Though it may seem intimidating, a major part of service is being able not only to support, but to lean on one's community. And that begins with your peers and our fellow members. As members, we have the common goal of supporting the greater good. And the further we cast our net, the more of our members we choose to include in these endeavors, the bigger our impact. Your fellow members, junior and senior alike, want to see you succeed, and are therefore there for you to supply you with service opportunities and academic support when needed. Just as much as you are expected to supply your 15 hours of service your junior year and your 10 hours your senior year, you're expected to model the leadership within your school community, with your peers, just as much as you go out and model that spirit in your service projects. Thank you all for being here tonight and for listening to my speech. I'm grateful to welcome so many new members into the club, and I look forward to hearing about the changes you make in the community. Committing yourself to NHS is committing yourself to make a positive impact. So with that, tonight we are recognizing that commitment by honoring the people who decided to take on the challenge. Tonight is yours. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Olivia. I feel at this moment I owe Olivia an apology. I really didn't give her any decision on whether or not she was going to speak tonight. However, having heard many of your speeches before, I knew it was going to be great. So thank you once again, Olivia. All right, our final remarks this evening are from Annie Bernard. As you may have inferred from earlier, I started as an NHS advisor well into the school year. It was actually started after winter break this year. This didn't really allow me a lot of time to get to know everyone and really even get all the admin stuff done in a reasonable manner. It was actually through all this chaos that I got to learn more about Annie. Annie is a senior at MG31 and has really taken to heart what it means to be an academic and community scholar here at Monroe Grove. Annie has proven this as the director and founder of a nonprofit, Mental Health is Lit. To speak more about this nonprofit, please welcome Annie to the stage to talk about this nonprofit and the impacts it's had on our community here at Monona Grove.
Hello, my name is Annie Bernards. I'm a senior at Entry 21, but I did come here for until the end of my junior year. This is my second year in National Honor Society. I'm a Gold Award Girl Scout, and I founded and run my own nonprofit called Mental Health is Lit to provide mental health resources to local schools and community centers for kids who otherwise wouldn't be able to have. Here's a little overview of what I do. I am the founder and person in charge of all operations at this nonprofit. I originally saw a big need for destigmatization for mental health issues. I also recognize that some students still won't seek help if they had to talk to someone in student services. So many kids I knew had considered suicide, and even more were chronically depressed and anxious from all the schoolwork and life activities going on, and almost all of them had nothing or no one to turn to. Then I brainstormed that books are an affordable way to discreetly provide rounds of information, help, and hope. I got donations from the Monona Grove community to put an 80-book mental health selection in the school library, as well as collecting video recordings of staff saying that they're here to help our school community. Next, I saw a need outside just Monona Grove High School and wanted to continue my work. So I created a nonprofit to continue this work in the other schools. I formed a legitimate 501c3 nonprofit with the U.S. government. I now have a website, a board, bank account, have a fundraiser, and big plans for the future. I have donated selections over 500 books to 7 area high schools in just over a year. I continue to strive to do more and put in place more support within the schools I've already helped. If you're interested in learning more about my nonprofit and how you can support our mission, please follow our Instagram page, Mental Health is Lit WI, which has links to our website, but also stays to date with most updates and fundraisers and such, which can really help me and continue the work that I'm trying to accomplish. Getting to the point where I have a website and a social media presence and can ask for help took a lot of hard work and trial and error and a lot of confidence that I had to earn. I want to share a few lessons I've learned along the way that I believe would be relevant to this audience. Number 1, that you won't always know if your service has impacted anyone or what you're doing is worth it. Especially in the mental health setting, so much is confidential and private. I will never know if I ever helped anyone with what I did. But I know that even if one person felt even slightly better with my work, it will be worth it. Number 2, people are genuinely kind and have good intentions. You can't be afraid to ask for support. If you ask, most of the time people will have something to offer. I'm very thankful to the community, the school, my teachers, and my family for supporting my mission. For example, when I first put my call without much foundation or evidence that I'm a legitimate person for donations, over 100 people supported my cause directly, even more shared it on social media. People that had no ties to me or the school were emailing me and asking me how they could help in any way that they could. The response was overwhelming for months afterwards. Another time, when I officially became a nonprofit, I had no income or donations to donate. I had no authority or proof that I was legitimate. About 50% of the authors, I cold called authors, and about 50% of the authors emailed me and sent multiple copies of their book. I ended up with over 200 books just from kind people willing to donate a book and send it to me. And number 3, this might sound cliche, but my service has helped me more than I've probably I've learned to be a leader, and it's increased my confidence. I now feel like I can speak in situations, I can take up space, and even state my opinion, which I would have never done even 6 months ago. I would have never given the speech 6 months ago or anything. You may be wondering, what does this have to do with me? Or I will never be able to do anything like this. But the answer is you don't have to. This is just one way I have found to serve my community. You have things that you are passionate about. There are small and big ways to help out while you're doing things that you are passionate about. I combine my love for reading and mental health awareness, but you can find ways to help out with sports, animals, faith, friends, or a hobby. Don't be afraid it won't be enough, because every single bit of service counts. The point is just to be a good citizen and serve your community. Thank you for coming out tonight, and congratulations to the class of 2024 inductees on your National Honor Society membership.
I was standing over there and legitimately couldn't stop smiling. So Annie, thank you so much for your hard work and dedication to the mental health crisis that sadly affects far too many in our society. However, it's efforts like yours that I know are helping make our community a safer and healthier one. So once again, thank you, Annie. Let's give her another round of applause. All right, it is time to move on to our student recognition and swearing-in portion of our program. I want to take this opportunity to recognize our senior class members of the National Honor Society. So up on screen, you'll see all 54 members of the senior class up on screen. And then there are some senior members who I believe are actually behind the curtain at the moment, but you'll see them later. If we can give all of them a round of applause. What I think is especially notable, given the context of this year for me and just everything else that kind of happened with NHS this year, out of the 54 names you see out there, 52 of them have already gotten their hours or have gone above the hour requirement. So I think that in itself deserves another round of applause. And trust me when I say that is no small feat. Okay, now it is time to move on to our new inductees. Inductees, I hope that the words of our speakers have impressed on you the values, characteristics, and standards that we hold dear and near and dear here at Mill Grove. Being inducted to National Honor Society, you are specifically being asked to represent and uphold the values of scholarship, service, leadership, and character here at Mill Grove High School and throughout our communities. Inductees, having been evaluated for your academic excellence and whether you individually uphold the 4 values of NHS by our staff council, at this time, it is with great honor to induct you into the Mill Grove chapter of NHS. Could our inductees please rise at this time and repeat after me? So everyone, please. All right, guys, ready for this? So, I, and then state your name. Do hereby pledge to be true to the membership of the National Honor Society of Monona Grove. I pledge to uphold the qualifications of the organization, which are scholarship, character, service and leadership. And I further pledge to remain an excellent academic standing. All right. please welcome our new class of 2024 inductees, now members of the National Honor Society. You guys can be seated. So at this time, I also need to call out our seniors who are going to help with passing out certificates. Okay, new NHS members, we are going to call you up to the stage to receive your NHS membership certifications, and we're going to do it by alphabetically. Our name readers here are going to call like you guys up by letters like A through, what's the first group? Okay, so if your last name is A through D, you're gonna line up over here alphabetically. So everyone whose last name is A through D, you can line up over there. Awesome. Most importantly, inductees, make sure you're paying attention of who's in front of you. And so if there's like a little bit of a mix-up or something, just follow whoever is in front of you. So at this time, if I can have the name readers come up.
Adela Arrington. Lucas Beck. Abigail Bennett. Quincy Gilbert. Haley Bostad. Samuel Brazelton. Paxton Braun. Lois Buckingham. John Burke. Abigail Bykowski. Connor Churches. Alex Collin. Elaine Cohen. Ryan Conley. Blake Cook. Isabel Brenner. Margaret Cleveland.
Okay, can I have everyone E through H line up, please, quick? Yeah, you can go, you can. Selma Condon. Krishna Elwell. Layla Faki. Brooke Faulkner. Cecilia Fisher. Arabella Fisher. Lauren Fritz. Owen Ginger. Tessa Gordon. Jalen Brandman, Nicholas, Gavin Hayes, Ava Hackle, Samantha Hayden, Parker Hagan, Morgan Hall, Samuel Walker. Caitlin Everhart.
All right, can I have everyone HE through MAJ please stand up? That's my last name, by the way. Tate Hepler, Macy Huss, Abigail Inda, Alice Johnson, Kiara Call, Megan Keatoney, Carson Plunstead, Sophia Lacken, Olivia Lang, Andy Lee, Leon Lee, Liu Shi, Easton Lutke, Kendall Mady, and Calvin Mysak.
All right, everyone else can go up there now. Just stand up there. Look all the rings. Chase Marshall, Abigail McConnell, Sadie Melvin, Lincoln Metcalf, Carson Nelson, Noah O'Brien, Celia Parra, James Pedretti, Carolina Capola, Isabel Powder, Elizabeth Brawl, Anna Maria Rascod, Keegan Rosen, Courtney Ryan, Kelly Ryan, Diageo Scalisi.
Elizabeth Shackelman, Noel Savage, Eva Sandos, Kendall Shackelman, Michelle Simmons, Savannah Stranick, Dan Hagen, August Erlich, Selena Richie, Eli Healer, Emily Toyola, Kylie Turner, Maya Tweedy, Rachel Mendes, Caitlin Murphy, Nicholas Schreeman, Tyler Mullen, Ryan Young, and Riley Jones. Real quickly, we didn't miss anyone, right? Okay, with 91 students, yeah, it's hard to get everything. Straight, so I'm glad we didn't miss anyone. All right, thank you everyone, sorry, we're just gonna keep moving on here. Thank you everyone for being in attendance. I wanna get you guys out here at a reasonable time. And recognizing all of these amazing scholars we have here at Middle Grove High School. Can we get one more round of applause for our inductees? All right, I have two very important instructions for our new inductees. Number one, all you guys, we're actually gonna head towards the grand staircase after this because we gotta take a photo for your book. So, like literally right after this, let's head to the grand staircase so we can take a photo. Number two, and this is for everyone, please eat cake and cookies. We need to get rid of all the cake and cookies. So with that, have a good evening, everyone. Inductees, I want to see you at the grand staircase. Thank you.